How y'all doing with Pokemon Monsters, Hedgehogs, and Crazy Bombers, and the Powerpunk Gamer here, and I want to do this all in one take, that way, I don't have to do much editing, because editing on this thing is a pain. So, this is going to be super unprofessional. I apologize for the, I don't know, inconvenience? I don't know if it's an inconvenience. Whatever, point being, I have a new video out, and apparently Pokemon's been up to stuff as well. A game was recently released, a trailer was recently released as well. A previously Japan-only game, Pokemon Duel, came out on the App Store for iPhones and Play Store for Android quite recently, and I thought, you know what, it's a new game. There are many people playing it. I thought I should make a review with my ideas, thoughts, all of that, to kind of get people aware of the game, as well as, tell people what I think of the game and whether they should get it or not. So, yeah, this is my review of the newest Pokemon game. Pokemon Duel. Alright, so let's start with the main gameplay mechanic. This game really revives this old thing from like Gen 4. They were called PTFG. Pokemon trading figure game. It's like the Pokemon trading card game, but there were figurines that you battled and stuff. And I don't think it ever really hit shelves ever, but there was like a concept for it. And yeah, it was shown off. I think Space World maybe, but it was shown off, and there was a concept for it, and that never really went anywhere up until now. Pokemon Duel is a game that uses the PTFG as the main way to play. So let's talk about how you play. So you get on the app, you get on the app, there's a tutorial, all of that, and let's talk about the battles first. You have 6 figurines, and you play each one. Each one of them has a certain movement, like, range. So they can either have 3, or, well, the max I've seen is 3, the minimum I've seen is 2. So they can either have 3 or 2. A person who goes first in the match will always have 1 movement slot lowered. So if they have a movement range of 2, then if you get picked as the first person, then you have a movement range of 1. If they have a movement range of 3, then they get a movement range of 2. So the main goal is to get from your side to this one spot on the opponent's side. Now, here's where it gets tricky. See, the PTFG has a game mechanic of spinning wheels. It has 20, 30, whatever number attacks that do a certain amount of damage. Those are white attacks. There are blue attacks, which are like, usually it's like protect, withdraw, or dodge. There are red attacks, which are basically miss. You miss an attack and basically miss your turn. And there are purple attacks, which are, well, less attacks and more like status inflicting things. Poison powder, sleep powder, eerie light is one of the things I think on Haunter. So yeah, it's that. Purple beats white. White beats white if the number on the white is higher. Blue beats white, blue beats purple, and red loses to everything except for red, in which case it just ends in a draw. Like I said earlier, the main point of the game is to get from your side to this one specific point on your opponent's side of the board. So there are 2 ways to play. There is online, which is what you'll most likely be spending your time on before you realize that you need to play single player, but we'll get to that in a second. Online, you face against other players from around the world, and you play with other players from around the world, and you basically do that. You basically fight other players from around the world with your figurines and try to beat them. The more you beat them, the higher you get, in your rank. The higher you get in your rank, the higher the league you're in. The higher the league you're in, the more, better chests you get. In this case, chests are called boosters. Boosters will basically give you items to upgrade your Pokemon and new Pokemon themselves. So, let's talk about upgrading. for upgrading, you will need materials or Pokemon. If you have a Pokemon that you want to use and you have a couple of throwaway Pokemon, you can fuse their energy onto the new Pokemon. If you have some materials that you want to fuse with your Pokemon that can give you experience to level up, then you can infuse those as well in the Fusion Center. Fusion requires coins, and we'll get to that in a second. When you fuse materials and level up, you can basically add a certain amount of space to a certain attack and reduce the likelihood of missing an attack. If you miss, well, you don't get to do anything. So when you level up, it's great because you get a free pass of not missing. Here's the problem with well, we'll get to that in a sec. Single player. Here's another thing. Like I said earlier, Fusion requires coins. Coins can only really be obtained not through online play, but really through the single player quest. And I think they really did a good job of that, where you get a lot of coins from the single player campaign, and then when you want to upgrade your Pokemon, you go to online, get new Pokemon, get new materials from the boosters, and then you can infuse your Pokemon with those materials using the coins you earned in single player. So I think I think that's a very good structure. So I like how they've done that. I really do like that structure of the game. And yeah, that's how that works. Now let's talk about my personal opinions on the game. For one, I think it's a really fun game. I enjoy playing the game. It's very fun and it's very strategic. You have to play your cards right, well, your figures, I guess, to block your opponent from getting to your space while you have to get to their space at the same time. And there's a healthy amount of gambling involved, basically. Do you want to get into that fight or not, A? And B, when you get into that fight, do you want to, it's just luck which one you land on. You don't really get to pick. And then again, some of the afflictions kind of affect you, like paralysis. One of your attacks becomes a miss instead of being an attack. One of your when you're poisoned, you do 20% or 20 less damage. So that if you land on a white number on a white space, which can drastically affect you. Like if you have a 30 point white attack and all your opponent has is a 10 and a 20, and they poison you, and then you land on that 30 point attack, that lowers it down to 10, and they land on the 20, they can knock you out. So it can turn the tide a decent bit. When you're asleep, you can't attack. You can move, but you can't attack. And when you're confused, all attacks will miss by one space. So if you landed right next to the miss, you will miss. If you landed on a purple space, and right next to that is a white attack, you'll go for the white attack, or the blue attack, whatever. So you miss. And I like the kind of luck that plays into it, and I also like the strategy that's behind it. You have to strategically play your cards, play your figures, to advance in the game, advance online. Now for the bad. For one, it's very, very sparsely populated, and I think I know why. It's gotten some pretty bad reviews on the Google Play Store. I personally have not run into any problems. In fact, the only problems I've run into is going online and not finding somebody for a really long time because there's not many people that play it, and I also play it at different points of the day, like time of day, than most people do, as well as at least 50% of this game's player base is Japanese, so they're probably in Japan, which means their time zone is way different from ours here in the States. So it is a little, sometimes it can be a little wonky with people playing. The other thing is, I don't like experience. Experience, like I said, you level up your Pokemon, you can, whatever. I don't like it in the sense that it takes a really, really long time to fill up and get to the next level with your experience. I have level 1 Pokemon, and it's taking ever to get to level 2. In fact, I had to spend 1,000 coins with one specific material that you don't get all that often just to evolve them. Oh, well, not evolve, but to level them up. That way I could increase the competitive viableness of that Pokemon, if that makes any sense. So I don't like the level up system and how it takes a really long time to level up, and single player doesn't really help all that much. I mean, you get experience from single player. You don't get experience at all from online, but you get experience from single player, but you only get like I think 2 points for the regular concierges and 8 points for the non-regular concierges. So it's it's not really worth it. So it's it's not that great. It's okay, it's not that great. Overall, though, I'm really pleased with this game and the amount of depth and detail it shows. And it kind of came out of nowhere. One of my friends told me, "Hey, did you hear the news?" I'm like, "No, what? Pokemon Duel is out." I'm like, "What the heck is that?" He sends me a screenshot of it on the App Store / Play Store. And I'm like, "Hey, that sounds pretty cool. It's a Pokemon game. Might as well try it out." I mean, even though I hated Pokemon Go, I thought I might like this because I kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So I decided, hey, why not? I'll pick it up. I'll see what it's all about, and I actually end up really liking it. Final verdict being, please get this game, and when you do, please fight me in it, because for the life of me, I cannot find anybody to play with. So it is really hard. I would recommend that you all get this game. That way you can populate the servers. And the great thing is they will notify you when the servers are under maintenance or going down for a certain amount of time. That way they can fix them with any issues or bugs or crashes or glitches or whatever. So they will always inform you about these things. So you're never feeling in the dark about, hey, why isn't the server working right now? And even if you forget that it is, they've done their job. They've notified you that the time is it's going down. Granted, I don't like that they're using the UTC time zone, but I mean Japan, yeah, I can understand why. But yeah, so they inform you when the servers are gonna go down for maintenance, and even if you don't pick it up, like you don't see the notification, you don't pick up that they're fixing the servers, you don't get that notification. The minute you log on, they're not even going to let you to the loading screen. They'll just say, game is under maintenance until that time, started that time, whatever. So they'll notify you of that, and all of that. So I think this game is really good. Anybody that liked Pokemon Go at the beginning should check it out just to see the new kind of gameplay it has. Everybody that likes Pokemon should definitely check it out, and anybody that likes strategy games in general should really check it out. And I think anybody who just likes games in general, this is actually, I love that Pokemon can do this, that they can mix something so complex when they make it competitive, yet so simple that even like a 5-year-old could pick it up and play it. So overall, I give this game a 9 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars, and yeah, it's a great game. Just pick it up, try it, you might like it, and if you do like it, please, and I can't stress this enough, please fight me in the game, because for the life of me, I cannot find anybody to fight. I usually, I'll be there for like 5 minutes before I can fight anybody on Pokemon Duel. So please go ahead and download this app, and when you do, fight me, try it. I think it's a really good app. I think you should get it. I think you should try it. And if you like it, great. If you don't, well, I did my job to notify you that it's out. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to like this video down below. Comment below how hype you are for Pokemon Duel, and are you going to pick it up? And if you do, please tell me. And subscribe for alerts when new videos come out, including video reviews like this one, unboxing videos, gaming videos, and other videos where I just sit in front of a mic and talk for a while. And share with your friends to promote bad YouTubers such as myself. So guys, in short, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I am the Powerpunk Gamer, and my lights are out.